the wizarding world possesses many remarkable forms of magic. Wizards can teleport, transform objects, bend the laws of physics in ways that would give most scientists a nervous breakdown. And yet, when somebody needs to post a letter, the preferred solution remains finding a reasonably cooperative owl. For ordinary day-to-day communication, the wizarding world relies remarkably heavily upon owls. Need to send a letter? Owl. School acceptance? Owl. Birthday card? Owl. Newspaper delivery? Still an owl. At some point in history, wizarding society appears to have examined every available method of communication and concluded that the most sensible solution was to involve more birds. An astonishing amount of wizarding civilization continues to function because thousands of owls wake up each morning and report for duty, which is perhaps not the communications infrastructure one might expect from a society capable of teleportation. Nevertheless, the letters arrive, the newspapers arrive, the parcels arrive, and wizarding society carries on as though this arrangement is perfectly reasonable. What's particularly impressive is the amount of trust involved. School reports, family correspondence, invitations, financial information, the occasional howler, all routinely entrusted to owls. Highly capable owls, undeniably, but owls nonetheless. Most people become anxious when an important package is delayed. The wizarding world appears perfectly comfortable handing sensitive information to a bird and proceeding with its day, which suggests either extraordinary confidence or exceptionally reliable owls. Fortunately for wizarding society, the evidence appears to favor the owls. Perhaps the most remarkable part of Owl Post is that nobody appears entirely sure how it functions. Owls routinely locate witches and wizards without postcodes, without directions, without maps, and occasionally without what most people would consider a useful address. Some witches and wizards have been known to receive post while traveling, others while staying in temporary accommodation. The owl still finds them. At no point does anyone stop to ask how. They simply accept that the owl knows, which, when one thinks about it, is an extraordinary level of confidence to place in a bird. The owl knows where you are. How it knows remains unclear. The owl has never felt obliged to explain itself, and wizarding society appears entirely comfortable leaving the matter there. Of course, nowhere demonstrates the wizarding world's confidence in Owl Post quite like Hogwarts. Every morning, the Great Hall becomes the center of a remarkably ambitious aerial delivery operation. Hundreds of owls descend from the rafters carrying letters, newspapers, parcels, and messages from home. They weave between floating candles, cross over breakfast tables, deliver post with astonishing accuracy, and somehow avoid turning the entire event into complete chaos. Most schools would likely consider this a safeguarding concern. Hogwarts appears to consider it part of the morning routine. Students continue eating, teachers continue conversations, and the owls carry on with the quiet efficiency of a postal service that has absolutely no intention of modernizing. And perhaps that's why Owl Post survives. Not because it's the fastest system, because it almost certainly isn't. Not because it's the simplest, because there are clearly easier alternatives, but because some things in the wizarding world are valued for reasons beyond efficiency. There is something undeniably charming about receiving a handwritten letter carried across the country by an owl, a real letter, written by hand, delivered by a creature that somehow knew exactly where to find you. It feels personal, memorable, almost old-fashioned. Besides, it is difficult to improve upon a system that already believes it knows where you are. The owl arrives, the letter arrives, and for perhaps the 10th century in a row, another day of wizarding civilization continues exactly as intended. So, the next time someone tells you the wizarding world has a magical solution for everything, remember that an entire magical civilization continues to rely upon owls for its communications infrastructure. Highly capable owls, undeniably, but owls nonetheless. Which raises an important question. If you lived in the wizarding world, would you choose an owl? Or is there another magical creature you'd rather trust with your post? Let me know below. And if you find yourself drawn to the stranger corners of the wizarding world, you may want to stay a little longer. There's always more to uncover if you happen to be looking when the clock strikes odd.